This is Jerry speaking. Welcome to TheCrazyBunch's web show, episode number 41. Now, before we get this episode with two death topics and Earth Day, we gotta get ready for 2 minutes of getting ready to be being better with this towel thing. This is TMI. So here we go. Beginning in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, no one's ready. Sorry, I didn't know. Yeah. Wake me up when it's 1:57 p.m., okay? Keep running my eyes while I'm taping episodes like this. And shows in between, so I don't want to do this anymore. So, just let me know when you're ready. Okay? Okay. Well, let's see. Alright, we have 1 minute. This is the first minute of this. Get it out. Okay. Let's see what's up. Yep, it's up. Okay. I'm better now. Okay. My eyes are better now. Okay. There we go. I'm gonna put this in the very close room after we tape this episode. But anyway. I'm all better now. But, I don't want to rub my eyes anymore. So thank God for that. But anyway. Off to my death topics, and we got Earth Day topics to talk about. Anyway, oh man, we got Jim Steinman, who is known as James Richard Steinman, was an American composer, lyricist, record producer, and playwright. He was also worked as a arranger, pianist, and singer. His work includes songs in the adult commentary, rock, dance, pop, musical, theater, and film scores genres. His work includes albums such as Meatloaf's Bad in Hell, which includes one of the best-selling albums of all time, Bad in Hell 2, Back in Hell, and produced some of the albums for Bmi Tyler, including his most successful charts, includes Tyler singles include Tyler's Soul Cooks in the Heart, Air Supplies, Make You Love and Nothing at All, Meatloaf's I Do Anything But Love, but I Won't Do That. The Sisters of Mercy's, This Concussion, and more. Barry Manilow's William and Weep, Celine Dion's cover of It's All Coming Back to Me Now, originally released by Steinman, project by called Pandora's Box, and Boyzone's No Matter What, the first group and the only single to be popular in the charts in the U.S., which Steinman only wrote the lyrics. Okay, Steinman only Bad for Good was released in '81. Jim Steinman's work also extended the musical theater, which began his career. Steinman was even credited for his book, Music Lyrics for Bad to Hell, the musical. And also, as well as his lyrics for Whistle from the Down the Wind, and music for Tens Der Vampire. Hang on. Thank you. Gotcha. Thank you. If you watch this, Mom, this is for you, but anyway. Anyway. Moving on. He was born in New York on November 1st, 1947. The son of Eleanor, a teacher of Latin, and Louis Steinman, who owned a steel distributing warehouse. It was a Jewish insanity. Steinman graduated from George W. Hewitt High School in 1965. In 1963, during his sophomore year in Hewitt High School, Simon won Newsday, January essay contest on American history for his essay, on which he believed were the three greatest American inventions. But anyway, Steinman received his bachelor's degree from Amherst Heights College in 1969. 1960s career began in 1968 March. Steinman composed and contributed music for the American Amherst College for adaptation of Birch's A Man. In May 1968, he directed a Amherst production of Michael Mercer's The Beard. Over the summer of 1968, he contributed music for adaptation of Birch Bow, how you pronounce it, but anyway. Moving on. Next, by the Island Fear, work by Island Fear Workshop Marvis Vineyard. A senior at the Amherst College in Massachusetts, Steinman wrote the book Music and Lyrics for the Dream Engine in April 1969. A musical that it was used to fulfill the requirements for the impairment study course. In his senior year, Steinman himself played Ball, while an audition call went out for the fellow students for the remaining roles in the production. Barry Keane, serving in a patrol career and director, and also played the role of the historian narrator. He worked extensively with Jim to complete the book for the production. All of them shouting lines for the audience and scoring heavily for the earlier work from Breach and Foreman troops. The play was presented at the Amherst campus, Kirby Pier, in April 1969, and transferred to nearby Hiawatha for a small handful of performances. It famously drawing the attention of local authorities for its enormous-wide display of nudity in the finale. Wow. And then in the moment that it was virtually muted for the off-campus performances. The Dream Engine set up in Strategical Distribution in 1969 is a story of a young boy named Ball, who, along with his rival fellows, doesn't accept the restrictions and limits that of their social Ball and the leaders of a self-instrumented group of wild boys titled The Tribe. Okay? Well, whose mutual enemies are Max and family. The parents of the girl, the young woman who's born Ball, fell in love. Okay? Several Moffat's lyrics and monologues from the show appear in the songs Steinman later released. For example, the lyrics "Turn Out the Bright Eyes" from "The Total Eclipse of the Heart" can be heard in the song titled "The Foreman of the Tribe." There's a ritual reference to the blast flash of Nephros nuclear explosions, how you pronounce it, excuse me. And a full riff of the ritual Extreme Engine completion can be heard in the musical break on the Bmi Song recording, including simic musical blast, the punctuate each praise. Multiple historic with reference to silver and gold also occur first throughout the book, and appeared in numerous later Steinman works. And the full monologue that was later recorded to open to the words right out of my mouth, hot summer nights, delivered the love scene between Ball and the girl. Okay? Simon said in the interview that Joseph Pop found the New York Shakespeare Festival, saw the play, and was expressed he signed up during intermission. He wanted to bring it to New York, either Broadway or Central Park. But Ball, when his Ember's factory advisor explained to Pop that the cut raped the Pop's published claim. Steinman was never a friend with near exploitation with the college. Nonetheless, Steinman will work under Pop over his years at Amherst College. In the 1970s, from 1971, Steinman provided music from the puppet show titled Ubu, how to pronounce it. The show put on by the puppeteer and filmmaker Damon was adapted of Ubu on the Hill in 1888, played by Howard Jerry. In 1972, Steinman worked with a college friend, Barry Keane, on a musical titled Rheingold at the Mirror Arts Center, based on the Richard Wagner's opera Das Rheingold. Steinman wrote the music and Keane wrote the lyrics. Okay? In the same year, Bay Meyer sang a demo of Steinman's song Heaven Can Wait. Meyer's career was in the early stage in this time, but she went on to go far greater fame, making that demo a collector's item. The demo has been a creation among fans on the internet. In Say Free, Steinman's song Happy Ending appeared on the album Food of Love, sung by Johan Elvin. This was the first commentary release recording the song written by Steinman. That same year, Steinman wrote music and lyrics for the musical titled More Than You Deserve in 1973. One of the actors cast in the show was Martin Lee Bidet, who went to be by the stage name Meatloaf. By the name Meatloaf, how you pronounce it, whom Steinman later collaborated. In 1973, a single in the song More Than You Deserve, more from the musical starring the same name, was released. Reed Rydwell was producer. Norman Burkett was arranger. Meatloaf was the lead singer. A cover of the single has also appeared in the 1981 album Dead Ringer. In 1975, while working for Joseph Pop at the New York Shakespeare Festival, Steinman contributed music and lyrics to Thomas Babe's Kid Champion, which starred Christopher Walken. Okay. In 1976, there was a minor one-month run in the musical titled The Conveyance Man. It was based loosely on the novel by the same title by Harmon Melville, how you pronounce it. The book's lyrics was written by Ray Errol Fox. The music by Steinman. Ray Fox decided in the 1976 production as a classical version of the show. In 1986, more German production of the show was with added songs was held at the Queens College in New York City. It was directed by Susan Einhorn and performed by Queens College students. Organizations were by Stephen Morgses, how you pronounce it, Steinman, Conveyance. One song from the Conveyance Man, My Lady, was recorded by Barry Manilow, was never released. Wow. Melody of the song later appeared in Ten's Dear Vampire as a melody for Sarah. Song music for the show later appeared for the hit song Make Love Out of Nothing at All. In the score for the film, A Small Circle of Friends. Cast album of the song is from the Conveyance Man, produced by Jeff Armstead, was released in 2003. The Conveyance show featuring songs from the Conveyance Man, was presented in 1977, a Manhattan theater club, where Steinman has previously written music for another carpeted show titled Bloodshot Wine. In 1977, a brief workshop was held in the work-in-progress musical titled Neverland. Okay. Adopted largely with the Steinman Keen source material, developed the Dream Engine. There's also loosely sourced material from Peter Pan by J.M. Murray. While preparing the show, Steinman and Meatloaf, who were touring for the National Lampoon show, felt that 3 songs were special, and Steinman began development as a part of the 7-song set they wanted to record as an album. The 3 songs were Bad in Hell, Heaven Can Wait, and Formation of the Pack. I have never seen Formation of the Pack, but okay. There was a retitled All Rev Up, and there was no place to go. But okay, I thought it would be good. But okay. The show was also containing Steinman's Borrow, aka Great Borrows of Fire, okay? Was later used in the many live shows featuring Steinman's work. Jim Steinman originally wanted Kim Morrow to sing the album Bad in Hell, but later changed his mind. But anyway, who is he? I don't know. Milford, but we'll see. Or she, whatever. But it was his, but anyway. Steinman and Meatloaf have since difficulty finding a record company willing to sign him. According to Meatloaf's autobiography, Ben spent most of 1975 and 2.5 years auditioning Bad in Hell and being rejected. CBS executive Clive Davis even claimed that Steinman knew nothing about writing or rock music in general. Recording started in 1976 in Bearsfield near Woodstock. After numerous few rejections, the album was released by Cleveland International Records in October 1977. The album was an immediate success in Australia and United Kingdom, later in the US. Reports that Larry and how many copies of the album was sold, but in 2007, the year at which band was founded, Cleveland National Records founder Steve Pollock said that it was around 40 million copies. Wow. The highest charted song from the album was 2 Out of 3 Ain't Bad, which was reached number 11 on the Billboard charts. 79, the Freeway Records label made a 2 LP condition that titled LA Radio. It was not commercially released, but the promised copies were distributed. He also had a spoken word segment titled Shouts the Freeway, written and recited by Steinman. It was later appeared in the 1981 album Dead Ringer with the new title Nocturnal Pleasure. Parts of it can also be heard, but at the beginning of 1989, music video directed by Ken Russell for the first release in the song It's All Coming Back to Me Now. Okay, makes sense. Steinman wrote the music for the 1979 National Lampoon sitcom Dell House. Sean Kelly and Tony Hendra wrote the lyrics. Okay. Michael Simmons sang the lead vocals. The music is later for the appear in the song They Ready for Love. Okay. In the 1980s, the film song Small Figure Circle of Friends was released. It also have an orchestral score composed by Steinman and orchestrated by the fragrant collaborator Steve Margoshy, is how I pronounce it. Okay. Most of the orchestral score match the melodies of number of songs that Steinman would later release, including Total Eclipse of the Heart, Making Love of the Nothing at All, and First Sarah from Tanster Vampire. Early in the production of the follow-up album of Bad in Hell, Meatloaf developed vocal problems and was unable to continue on the project. Steinman proceeded with the album, releasing the Best Bad Good for Good in 1981. Most songs are sung by Steinman himself. 3 of the songs are sung by Roy Dodd. who did not receive a clear attention for his work for the album's credits, and called the video "Sing a Do It Part 1" song. Steinman was at the time credited as co-producer with Todd Rundgren for the one track, and was bombed. Steinman was credited as co-producer with Bmi Song, how to pronounce it, for the song "Rock and Roll Dreams Come True," which is a Meatloaf song, but whatever. It came out to be a 1994 release as a single, which I'll talk about that later. Meatloaf again would record songs by Steinman. The album Dead Ringer in 1981. All songs on the album were written by Steinman. But one of the songs, More Than You Deserve, was pre-released. Stephen Gavas was the primary producer of the album. Steinman's role in the album was less than his role in Bad for Good. The highest charting songs in the album was Dead Rain for Love, a duet with Cher. Of the album reached #1 in the album charts in the United Kingdom. Steinman is credited as music producer of the every set selection of Bonnie Tyler's album, Fast and the Speed of Night, 1983. Steinman also wrote and composed for two of the songs in the album, Total Eclipse of the Heart and Faster Than the Speed of Night. The album's title selections, the period of 1983, two of the songs produced by Steinman, held the top 2 positions of the Billboard's single charts with Total Eclipse of the Heart at #1. Make Love Out of Nothing at All, performed by Air Supply at #2. The second of those appear in Air Supply's 1983 Compassions album, Great Hits of Making Love, very best of Air Supply. On the inner cover of this album, Steinman is also credited with being the suggestive female voice. Speaking of the words, I do anything for love, but I won't do that, on the song Getting So Excited. The same words that later become the title of the hit single Steinman wrote for Meatloaf, which is released 10 years later. Barry Manilow's Compassions album, Great Hits in Volume 2, included the song William from Weep, written, composed, and produced by Steinman. It appeared on Meatloaf's Dead Ringer album in 1981, which is a slightly different lyric. The song stayed at #1 on the adult comparison chart for 8 consecutive weeks. In 1983, Ian Hunter released the Eyes album, All the Good Ones Are Taken. On the title selection, All the Good Ones Are Taken, Steinman was credited with assistants Roy Dunn and Eric Twier. Two singers are often sang on Steinman's studio work, were credited with initial background vocals. In 1984, the film Streets on Fire was released. The soundtrack includes 2 songs written, composed, and produced by Steinman. Tonight is What Means to Be Young and Nowhere Fast. Okay. The performance of these 2 songs were credited to Fire Incorporated, which was a reference to an imagery of studio musicians of singers hired to these 2 songs. The voice here in these songs include those of Roy Dunn, Harry Sherwood, and Larry Sargent. Okay. Steinman is credited for producing all the selections on Billy Squires' album Sign of Life, and Barbara Streisand's album in the same year, Emotion, featuring Left in the Dark, which Steinman wrote, composed, and produced. Okay. The song has previously appeared on Bad for Good. Okay. The soundtrack of the 1984 film Footloose included the song Holding Out for a Hero, performed by Bonnie Tyler. Steinman produced the selection and was credited composing the music. And Dean Pitchford, who had written the film itself, directed the screen for written the lyrics. The song was a hit single. The title of the soundtrack album was successful, and the film was successful. Some of the music of the song was adapted to music when used as the song Stuck Regular Love with the album Bad for Good. In 1984, Steinman was hired by and worked briefly with rock band Def Leppard on some tracks for the Def Leppard album. However, Steinman was fired and recorded work made when the band was not released. Oh, terrible idea. The next album, Def Leppard released after this was produced by Robert John Matt Lang, who also produced Bad as Hell. Highway to Hell, Black, and Rose About to Walk, We Salute You. Excuse me, but anyway. Moving on. These three AC/DC albums, but anyway, moving on. Steinman's wrote a song titled Sports of Heaven, which have the same melody of melodies, Conveyance Man, and First Sarah from Tens of Der Vampire. Roy Dodd sang a song demo of the Sports of Heaven in 1984. That demo has been in the creation among fans on the internet. In 1985, Steinman wrote, composed, and produced the theme song for WWF performer Hulk Hogan. If you watch this, some wrestling fans like Brad Martin, Jordan Lowe, aka James Virgin, and so many others, this is for you. But anyway, it was released in 1985 on the album titled The Wrestling Album. The selection recorded during this recording sessions of his Secret Dreams and Foundation Fire and album by Taylor's then recorded. And then which Steinman also produced. The selection has no lead vocals and matches much non-vocal parts in the track Ravishing. And the piano appeared at Secret Dreams and Forbidden Fire. The track was also heard on the theme music of the animated television show Hulk Hogan's Rock and Wrestling. Wow. Okay, makes sense now. Steinman produced the track Love Can Make You Cry, written by Michael Kerr, Don Kerr, and Ian Hutner for the soundtrack's album, the 1986 film Iron Eagle. That was a modified version of sorry about that, but anyway, original recording of the same song, which had appeared on Urgent's 1985 album Cast of Firestone. Okay. The original recording has been produced by Ian Hunter and Mick Rawson. Recorded Simon in the interview, Andrew Lloyd Webber approached him to write lyrics for The Phantom of the Opera. Wow. Because Lloyd Webber felt like his dark side fit in with the project. However, Steinman declined in order to fulfill his commitments to a Bonnie Taylor album. In 1986, the album Secret Dramas and Familiar Fire was released. And if you watch this Bob show, Family Opera's for you. But anyway, Bonnie Taylor sang lead vocals, and Steinman produced all the selections of the album. 4 of the songs on this album were written and/or composed by Steinman. One is called Hound Out for Hero, and with the same track from the Footloose soundtrack. The other 3 were Vashti, Vishing, how I pronounce it, Rebel Without a Crew, and Loving You, A Dirty Job. But somebody gotta do it. Do it with Todd Rundgren, who produced Bad as Hell for some reason. But anyway, this album was the first time Steinman worked with Steven Rogoff, who was recording engineer on this album. Since the album have been co-producers and regular professional partners on Steinman's work. In 1987, Sister of Mercy released their second album, Footland. Okay, Floodland, how you pronounce it. The track, this correction, was produced by Steinman, and the track, Dimensions Mother Russia, was co-produced by Steinman, along with Larry Alexander and Andrew Eldredge. The soundtrack album's the 1989 film, Rude Awakening, included 2 tracks produced by Steinman. One of the songs, Rude Awakening, was lead vocals by Bill Melody, how I pronounce it. It was written by Rick Rose and Paul Rothchild, and the other was Darby Homeson, with featured lead vocals by Phoebe Snow, was written, composed, and originalized by John Sebastian. In '89, the album Original Sin was released. The album's name is called Pandora's Box. Pandora's Box was the group endowed by Steinman, including officially 4 female singers and Steinman himself. The initial 4 female singers were Ellen Foley, who's formerly of Bad Hell album, but anyway, and they currently for I can't remember the album's name, but anyway, Ellen Caswell, how you pronounce it, Gina Taylor, and Donna Waddy, with Holly Shores doing the lead vocals for Good Girls Go Heaven. Gina Taylor also used the name Gina Taylor Perkins, and Gina Taylor Perkins, how to pronounce it, Pickens, was in a group called Mesquite, and it included a 1978 hit single, In the Bush. There was conflicting reports about whether or not Doria Wild exists. Okay. Elliot Caswell has said in the interview that Doria Wild does not exist. Doria Wild might have been a phenomenon for Holly Sherwood. Sales in Europe were low. The album was successfully reached #1 on the album charts in South Africa. It was not released at all in North America. Jeez. Years later, it was reissued and became available internationally on Compact Disc, CD that is. Original Sin was the original, including the original recording of It's All Coming Back to Me Now, sung by Lee Caswell. 2 songs from the original album, It's Just Don't Won't Quit, and Girl Girls Go to Heaven, Bad Girls Go Anywhere. It was recorded and released on Bad Hell 2, Back into Hell. In the late 80s, Jim Steinman was working on an adaptation of the 1984 movie, Family in Paradise, by director Brian D. Palmer. Okay? Steinman made demos in this project. His demos include Roy Dunn singing Making Love Out of Nothing at All, with an extra verse not hearing the Air Supply recording, including the 1980s recording of Who Needs the Young. In the late 80s as well, Steinman was preparing to produce an album for ELUO, Part 2, a spin-off of the group's Electric Lights Orchestra. Steinman made a demo of Roy Dunn singing the song Kiss Me Red by Billy Steinberg and Tom Kelly. ELO Part 2 released their album Electric Light Orchestra Part 2 in 1990. Without Steinman producing, okay, strange enough. Eric Toyer, a fragrant background vocalist of Steinman Productions, singing lead vocals in the ELO Part 2's released recordings on Kiss Me Red. 1990s. With Andrew Edrick, Steinman's co-produced with the track More for the album Bishop Thing by the group Sister Mercy. Around 92, Steinman worked with the punk band for Prostate, which featured guitarist and writer George Tabb. The group reportedly dissolved while working on with Steinman on what was better become the second album. Tabb's website has been shared a recording on the song Bring Me the Head of Jerry Garcia, with Steinman credited as the executive producer. Songs lyrics say of Jerry Garcia, he plays guitar like Daria had been announced. But anyway, this is gross. But anyway. After a series of professional legal disputes during the 1980s, Steinman and Meatloaf meet at the singer's house in Connecticut at Christmas 1989 or 1990 and sang Bad Hell on the piano. Okay. Steinman says that working together again seems like a cool thing to do. In 93, this album, Bad Hell 2, Back in the Hell was released. Steinman wrote all the songs and were credited as producer-arranger. Okay? Steinman was an additional credited as co-producer, and others were released as co-producer credits. The album was successful, reaching the peak of position on the album charts in many countries as number 1. The album has 3 top 40 singles, with I'd be do anything but love, but I won't do that. Reaching the peak of position of the pop singles charts in 28 countries. The other top 40 for the singles for the album were Rock and Roll Dreams Come True, and Objects in the War, their may appear closer than they are. Ritual said the Bmi Song from 1989, the Pandora's Box album, featuring the soundtrack album of the film The Shadow in 1994. The lyric release was slightly different from the heard of the original release of the song. Simon also produced this version with lead vocals by Tara Dane. Okay, in '95, the band where said released the album Twister. Okay, Stein was the executive producer for the album, and Stein's partner Stephen Rickoff was producing all but one track of it. The album consists of songs written by the band members. The same year, Bonnie Taylor released the album Free Spirit, featuring 2 tracks produced and written by Steinman. They were dancing versions of past hits, 2 Out of 3 Ain't Bad, and Making Love Out of Nothing at All. Okay? He along with brothers Rev and David James, with Stephen Rickoff as his only producer and engineer, can also co-produce the song Never Forget. It was written by Jerry Barrow for the British group Take That. Okay? It was released in the album Nothing That Nobody Else in '95. It released the number 1 position in the UK singles chart, like May Steinman Rickoff Productions. Okay? That it features programming on the keyboard work by Jeff Bola. Okay? Celine Dion's Following You in 1996, including the songs It's All Coming Back to Me Now, written and produced by Steinman. It also produced, but not offered, 2 other songs include River Deep, Mountain High, and Call the Man. It's All Coming Back to Me Now reached number 2 in the Billboard charts. It won Steinman the award for BMI Song of the Year. That award is given the song out of the representative BMI catalog that receives the most rare airplay in the popular year. The album has actually won 2 1997 Grammy Awards, the Best Pop Album and the Album of the Best Year. Steinman also produced the track Us, written by Billy Pace, for Dion's album Let's Talk About Love in '97. Steinman's production team prepared a recording of the Steinman Blackout song called It's Not Scared, how I pronounce it, for the album. But it was removed shortly before the album's release. The recording of Dion's singing of the song was leaked and it was been shared with fans' websites. Okay. Makes sense now. Steinman produced 2 tracks in the films in the late 90s. He produced In the Dark of the Night, written by Stephen Fawley and Lynn and Friends, for the soundtrack album for the film Anastasia in '97. He also produced I Want to Spend My Lifetime Loving You, music by James Horner, late James Horner. If you watch this remix for you. Lyrics by Will Jennings in the film Max Zorro. Okay, and lead vocals by With Do It called between Tina Arena and Mark Anthony. And the track also appeared on Tim Aris album in Deep in '97. The later in '96, Steinman worked in the movie musical titled Bad Hell 2100. But this was a predecessor to Bad Hell the musical. But it's built upon the storyline of Steinman's Neverland musical in the '70s. Okay? The movie is not made. The script about Bad Hell 2100 was leaked. It was made available among fans on the internet. Steinman also made demos for the Bad Hell 2100. This included Kyle Gordon, aka Scorpia, singing all revved up and with no place to go. Without lyric, Ellen Foley singing a song titled City Night, and Marcus Lovett singing solo clips of the heart. Okay. City Night or Corbett's musical from Come With Me, from Dance the Vampire, and Dance of the Vampires. Okay. Which uses the melody from the Nora Evans It's Come To Me, from the Conveyance Man, and featuring what it used to be. Recording with all 3 demos was also been leaked from have an else for it. Okay. Circularized among fans on the internet. Okay. Sound produced by lyrics were Andrew Lloyd Webster's musical Whisper Down the Wind, which opened at Washington, D.C. In 1996 December. However, it received poor reviews and the Broadway run was scheduled for the following April, was cancelled. And we work in the more scheduled West End production opened in the Upwick Rear on July 1st, 98. In addition to full-length cast, the London production, an album was released with well-known performers singing pop versions of songs from the show. This album was produced by Simon, initially with Stephen Wickoff, with those performers, including Tom Jones, Tina Arena, Boyzone, Elena Page, Donny Osmond, Neri Brothers, Meatloaf, okay, Boy George, Sounds of Blackness, Buddy Tyler, Michael Ball, and Lottie Mayer. One track, No Matter What, performed by Boyzone, reached a peak position in the pop charts in many countries. The same track appeared on the Boyzone album, and the Greatest Hits album, as the 2019 Boyzone 1998 recording the No Matter What is the most recent new song and project written at least in part by Steinman. Retaining new work after this at all. And the Chief Major chart topping success. The track Whistle Down the Wind, performed by Tina Arena, was the same album. Also had some chart successes. Okay. There was also a single released in the UK for charity, okay? The children from Red Hill Primary School and Sonia Young Fear School performing it When Children Rule the World. The singers were named for the Red Hill children, and the single peaked at number 4 in the UK singles chart. Dance with Vampires opened in Venice, Austria in October 4th, 1997. The show was adopted from Roman Polanski's film called The Fearless Vampire Killers in 1967, and initially directed by Polanski himself. It won 6 International Musical Awards at this International Musical Award Germany Image in 1998, and Duisburg in Germany. Okay, that is cool enough. Okay. There has been translated productions of Chance the Vampire in India, Poland, Finland, Hungary, Japan. Many of the various productions of Chance the Vampire have had cast recordings released. Some of them produced by Steinman along with other co-producers, like much of Steinman's work. The show includes adaptations or recycling much of the material Steinman has released before. This includes a song that told clips of the art, okay, clips of the heart, many of objects of rare Mary Mirror may appear close as they are, and many other parts of their works. 10 pre-release Steinman songs were included in the 2-disc compilation album, The Very Best of Meatloaf 98. This includes releasing the song that Life is a Lemon and I Want My Money Back. It was a new remix made by Steinman's production team. 2 compilations also include 3 new synth recordings of songs co-written by Steinman. All 3 of which he produced, but they're having track Home by Now, No Matter What, and a kiss, it's a terrible thing to waste. From Whistle Down the Wind. Also included in this song is Nothing Scared, in which Steinman wrote the music for Don Black's lyrics. The 2000s began when, in 2000, South African singer Jeffrey Jones sang the World AIDS Day concert. Jones performed there featuring what used to be the World AIDS Day concert was broadcast worldwide. For many people around the world, this was the first and only time they ever heard that song. In 2001, the box set Andrew Lloyd Webber, Now Forever, was released. It was included as a recording produced by Steinman and Andrew Lloyd Webber, and also co-produced by Stephen Wyckoff and Nigel Rice, of a Steinman Webber song, A Kiss is a Terrible Thing to Waste. It's from Whistle Down the Wind. It was credited to the Mel Paralympic Orchestra, which is an unrealized performance project idea. Kyle Gordon, aka Scarbia, a singer, made demos recordings with Steinman singing the lead vocal. Oh man. In late 2000, around the same year, 2001, Steinman was working on the singer Colleen Hanna. Plans to make an album with her when he was visually abdominated. Demo recordings of Hannah singing 4 songs by Steinman with League of the Fans. And have been available on a number of fan sites. The songs are these free demos of safe. I'm not gonna say the S word in the video, but anyway, Making Love of Nothing at All is Nothing Scared, and finally Braver Than We Are. Yeah, I was gonna talk about that, but anyway, the Steinman also recorded her voice in the demo of Catwoman Song, which was a part of the Steinman's Android song More. The demo was a part of Steinman's predictions for the analyzed Batman the Musical. He stared with fans and went through the website in 2002. Russell Weissman released the album Encore. It includes Steinman Black album, It's Nothing Scared. Steinman originally worked on his production of the song with Watson and lead vocals. Moving on. Composed by Michael Reed and Steinman, with a script by Warner Brown. Global the Musical is about the life and late screen idol Greta Garbo. Opened in Sweden and poor reviews in 2002. Preparation of stage musical based on the Batman comic book series began early in the decade, with Steinman working on the music and lyrics. In August 2002, the New York Post reported that Warner Bros. Signed Tim Burton to direct. According to the unnamed source, Burton was attracted to the project because it was too dark. It was as dark as this 1989 film Batman, rather than the goofy, campy term the franchise took at Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, which is meh. Both of which was directed by Joel Strummeyer. If you watch this remix, these two, I don't know what to do. But Batman Forever is funny. But Batman and Robin, yeah. The Star Trek is not going to love this. But anyway. Steinman said about Burton and the project. And I watch this Bob show. This is for you. I don't care. But anyway. It's more like his first 2 movies and many other movies. It's very dark and gothic. But it's really wildly funny. It was my dream to do this. How Warner Bros. Canceled his plans to cast and stage a show. Steinman has since shared some sample songs, demos, and the show, the Dream Production website. Dream Industry has, according to this website, MySpace page, which I haven't seen MySpace in the year 2002 at all. Also work on the recordings of some of the songs that were in the show. That includes the song We're Still the Children We Were Then and Not Allowed to Love. That was weird, but stupid. But anyway, where's the Meatloaf songs wherever you know it? But anyway, Steinman also was the other producer for the 2003 MTV television film Wuthering Heights. Okay, it was cited that Emily Bronte's novel, which inspired it is all coming back to me now. One of his favorites. Okay, we released 6-track soundtrack that CD that it was sold through MTV on Simon's and Randolph's Ravenous Records label. Jim Simon's credited as producer for the album. Most of his tracks and Steve Randolph's record is credited, in which he records mixing and co-production. That album includes a simple recording of Simon and Randolph's song "More" with actors Michael Valgo and Eric Cranston performing lead vocals. It also includes the first ever release in the song "It Ain't Broke, Break It," written by Steinman with lead vocals by Michael Valgo. Excuse me. But anyway, the album also had a version of featuring what it used to be by Jim Steinman with lead vocals by Eric Kristen. Okay, 2002. The Upper Babes released the album Beyond Imagination. Steinman produced the track Victoria, adapted from the Gatsby Verdi opera Idea. Stephen Rekoff was credited with co-production, recording mixing. Like many Steinman productions, it also includes work with an electronic music arranger and programmer, Jeff Bova. Okay? Steinman was also credited as an arranger along with Jeff Bova and John Colvin. In 2004, the film Shrek 2 was released, along the soundtrack album. The album has 2 dance covers of the Steinman Pitchman Ford song, Holding Out for a Hero, one with vocals by Jeremy Sanders, and the other credited to Fall. Okay? In 2005, the Heavenly Brothers released a limited edition of the album titled On the Wings of the Nightingale, the Mercury Studio recordings. Okay? The album includes the 6 songs A Kiss Is His Terrible Fading Ways, written produced by Steinman. The recording of the album was made in 1987. During the recording session, that ended up to be the 1989 album Some Hearts. However, the Steinman song was not released until 2005. The song was different from the songs were the same title and Whistle Down the Wind. The 2 songs were the title share only a few words with no music is common, with the Every Brothers versions containing musical motifs recycled the Steinman song Out of Frying Pan into the Fire. The demo recordings of the song with Roy Dodd singing lead vocals had more for many years, being in coordination among web fan websites. Steinman also wrote the letter in coordination of Kiss and His Terrible Faded Ways, which partly different music and partly different lyric. Steinman made a recording of the letter in coordination with Gina Taylor, aka Gina Taylor Pickens, or Gina Taylor Pickens for short. But anyway, singing lead vocal. That letter was most likely made with the Pandora's Box album Original Sin was made in the late 80s. It has been in coordination among fans of the internet. A separate and very different show of attends Der Vampire, Dance of the Vampires, opened on Broadway on October 16th, 2002. After the original director left the show, it was directed by John Rando, who joined us very shortly before the opening. The book was written by David Ives. It was novel for the large number of book jokes, many of which had a silly, vulgar quality to them, whereas Tans had been a song-through musical with no breaks in the music like an opera. Dance of the Vampires had the humorous spoken play with the songs was illustrated at some parts. The reviews tended to be very negative, sad to say. It closed on January 25th in 2003 after 61 preview and 56 regular performances. I can't pronounce it. Frankly, it was very unsuccessful, lost roughly $17 million. Diamond did not attend the opening night. In order the show is discussed with the show, in this blog, Diamond also described the show as DOTV, which you guys know I hated and discussed was fired by my manager and acting as producer. The manager he referred to was David Steinberg, who was one of the producers of the show and Steinman's longtime manager. During the concerts here on the Dog Tour, Meatloaf told the audience that he and Steinman would be releasing in the new album. Later, Meatloaf said that lawyers working over the year put together a contract with Steinman doing the Bad Hell Free. It was one of the best producers' contract in the history of the recording business. According to Meatloaf, the composer has suffered some health setbacks, according to Heart Attack. Jesus. Immediately, according to the singer, Steinman was not well enough to work on some Essence project. However, Steinman's manager refuted the version, stating that Steinman's health is excellent, and although he had some meaningful health problems about 4 years ago, he has been totally healthy the last couple of years. That was not the reason he didn't participate in Bat Free. Produced by Desmond Child, Bad Hell Free, The Monster Sleuth was released in October of 2006. It has 14 songs, some of which were written by Steinman. 5 of these covers of songs already written on other albums. The other 2 were adopted from Steinman's demos of songs that was intended for musical theater projects. Steinman's demos of The Land of the Pig, The Butcher's King was with Ryan Evans singing the lead vocals, was part of the predictions for the unreleased Batman the Musical project. Steinman's demo of Cry to Heaven, with Carl Jordan singing lead vocals, was intended to possibly that Steinman would provide songs in the musical based on the film Cry Baby. Cry Baby is since on stage, but without any work for Steinman. In 2006, the album title became a subject of legal battle between Steinman and Meatloaf. Okay? Steinman registered a trademark for the title Bad Hell in 1995, the year I was born. Stopped the preserve Meatloaf was using the title. Meatloaf sought to cancel Steinman's trademark and use the title. Aside from the trademark case, he sued Steinman and longtime manager David Sonnenberg for $50 million each, for a total of $100 million each. Wow, now a court settlement was reached, and legal cases allowing Meatloaf to use the title for this album. Allowed Meatloaf to release his recordings of a single In the Land of the Pig, The Butcher's King, Cry to Heaven. The arrangement allowed Simon to use the titles Jim Simon's Bad Hell. Okay. For the musical theater project, based on the songs of Bad Hell, the project was announced at the opening for February 17th, 2017 in Manchester. 2006, Westlife released the Love Song album, containing a cover from Total Eclipse of the Heart, produced by Steve Mack. A remix of the intro, presumably done by Steinman, Winkoff, and Bova, as leaked and being a creation among fan sites. First publicly presented in early 2006, Steinman and Steven Winkoff created a musical performance group named The Dream Engine. The group has been working on the studio recordings and held live shows in New York City. They also performed at the award show in Atlanta, Georgia. The people in the project were the first ever to publicly perform the songs What Part of My Body Hurts the Most. We're still the children of the world what we once were. Speaking in tongues, Not Allowed to Love, and Hurts when only when I feel. The last of those songs are partly adapted from It Only Break It. The project also the first to perform the revised and public lyric to Braver Than We Are. With the new lyric, the song primarily been titled American LG and God's Gone AWLL. Okay, have announced it. According to Steinman's blog, the project was guided by Simon Rakoff. The project was not performing and been active before public since 2006. Okay. 2010s. In January 2012, it was announced that Steinman was working with Terry Jones of My Platoon fame and the heavy metal version of The Nutcracker. In February of that same year, it was announced that he was inducted to the Songwriters Hall of Fame on June 14th of that same year. In April 10th, 2012, Amherst College announced that Steinman would receive an honorary degree in the college 191st Commission on May 20th, 2012. However, honorary degrees are awarded only in person, and Steinman had to cancel due to fortunes circumstances. On April 17th, 2013, the college announced that Steinman would speak at the convention on campus to be open to the public on May 25th. Will be receiving an honorary degree. A degree of Army letters to college 192nd coming in on May 26th. And on April 2013, Meatloaf and that said that he and Steinman will collaborate on 3 new songs to be included on Meatloaf's album Braver Than We Are, which was at the time released in 2015. But in 2016, Steinman was inducted in the Long Island Musical Hall of Fame. Meatloaf's album Braver Than You Are was released in Europe in September 9th, 2016, and in North America on September 16th, 2016, which I talked about my Friday show, which is good enough. It contains 10 songs composed by Simon. Jim Simon wrote either nothing, almost nothing, exclusively for the album. Paul Crook produced the album. Like Desmond's Charles Battlehill 3, The Monsters Lose, this album was made separately from the productions team of Jim Steinman and Stephen Rickoff. Okay? Bob Evans was the first singer to perform the songs Only When I Feel. And speaking of tongues, 2005, 2006, this track Going All the Way was a mixture of some previously released material, some previously leaked material, and a little bit of material not neither previously released nor previously leaked. Part of Going All the Way was in the song Braver Than You Are, Say a Prayer from Dancing and the Vampires. Part of it is a leaked demo of Corey and Hannah singing titled Braver Than You Are. The song, small monetary is it, is not in the leaked demo of Carrie and Hannah's singing or in Dance of the Vampire, Loving You, a dirty job, but someone got to do it. It's a cover of Lisa recorded by Taylor and Todd Rodgman. More is a cover of a Lisa recording of his sister's Mercy. The tracks Who Needs a Young, Souvenirs, God with a Z, not an S, Sculpt Your Country, and Train to Love, all covers and unreleased recordings of a Steinman made in the 1970s. During recordings in the 70s, all of those songs that he'd been coordinations among fans on the internet. And I agree with that. In February 2017, Steinman's Battlehill musical opened for previews at the Manchester Opera House. Manchester. Okay. England. When eventually premiered in the same venue, they're continuing on the one in June. The musical is based on multiple projects, including Steinman's Neverland from musical from the 1970s, the hit albums Battlehill 2, Back in Hell, and also other recordings of Steinman's career, and so forth. The musical did not contain any songs that had not been performed in public by the summer of the year 2006. But through 2 songs, Not Allowed to Love, and What Part of My Body Hurts the Most, had not been released in any albums or singles at that point. The musical performed at Toronto's Ed Music's Fear, then finished in January 2018, making a return to London in January in 2018. This time, dubbed in Fear. A German version of the song show was produced in Stage Entertainment and ran for Aberdeen's Music's Fear from November 2018 to September 2019. The Aberdeen's production featured William Verdak, how you pronounce it, in the role of Joanne on launch. Then she left the show at the end of March 2019. Steinman also said the American tour of the musical then take place in late 2018 through 2019, but was cancelled after a 3-week run in the first city, Toronto, was complete. The musical began a 6-week run for New York City Center Fear from August 1st to September 8th, 2019. The cast recording album of Bad Hell in the musical was co-produced by Steinman, Stephen Rokoff, and Michael Reed, was released on October 2017 on the Bow label. It was credited exclusively for the album. On the album was the first distributed in Canada to conclude with the show's run in Toronto. Then later released again via Ghostlight Records in July 2018, both worldwide digital release on a CD and on CD somewhere that for sale in the UK to conclude to the show's run in dominant via London. The cast features the vocals of the show's cast is Manchester, with Andrew Pollack and Christina Baden leading the roles as Strat and Raven respectively. Rob Fowler and starring Sexton as Falco and Strong, and Donnell Shears and Dom Harry Harris as Uriah and Jaguar. Of the original cast, the only Harry Pollack, Christina Baden, and Donnell Shears remained in the show from opening in Manchester 2017 for the show in the New York City run in 2019. Okay. In 2017, Velvet Rowdy Records was preparing to release music with Karen Hanna singing. In March 2017, Velvet Rowdy Records digitally released a recording of Hannah singing Braver Than You Are, which the recording is different from the recording of Hannah singing Braver Than You Are in the early 2000s. Upon the release of the album, Hannah, after the single, probably the title, Renegades That Angel was adopted. Wow. Personal life. Responding to interviewers, determination that his songs were tragic. Steinman has never been stomped on regularly. Fortunately, I'm stomped every day. Anyway, that was the way I feel sometimes. I never had my heart broken the way you are talking about. I never been dumped. But personally, probably because I don't allow myself to be dumped. And I agree with that. And at the time of his death, Steinman lived in Springfield, Connecticut. Health and death. Steinman had a stroke in 2004. And temporarily lost an ability to speak. He had another stroke 4 years prior to his death. He died from kidney failure in the hospital at Danbury, Connecticut last Monday. He was 73 years old. Upon Steinman's death, rock writer Paul Stinning said this left a tremendous legacy for him as the greatest ever composer of symphonic rock, and signed him as influence of variety spans across many genres. I'm gonna have one more topic and death topic, and we'll do the moment of silence, and we'll do Earth Day. We'll wrap things up. Anyway, his name is Charles Fries, and he was by the name Charles William Fries, and he was an American film producer, television producer, and executive producer who worked on many television series, made for television movies and theatrical films. The San Ohio-born Fries moved to Los Angeles in 1952, and began working on the productions and syndicated comedy television programs. He later worked at Screen Gems, Columbia Pictures, and Merrill Media. In 1974, formed Charles Fries Productions, which later became Fries Entertainment, which produced or supervised more than 275 hours of television movies and miniseries. Among the projects he produced is Amazing Spider-Man television series, which aired in the USA between 1977 and 1979. The 1980s television miniseries The Martian Chronicles, based on a book by Ray Bradbury. In 1981, television drama Bear Harvest. In the 1989 made for television movies such as Small Scarface and Neon Empire. For theatrical release, he produced and or was involved in the productions for the 1982 film Cat People and the 1986 skateboarding film Thrashing, and the 1989 film True Beverly Hills, which is based on his wife Ava Auburn Fry's experiences with the Beverly Hills Girl Scout troops, which film she also produced and Fry's executive produced. He also had a star at the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 1978. In 1986, he moved the star from the north side of Hollywood Bar in the sidewalk in front of the building. He called it at 6922 Hollywood Boulevard. Now, early life. He was working with the small produced company Charles Fry's produced, okay? With attending Hunter High School in Cincinnati. He graduated in 1946 when he went on to attend Ohio State University, where he became a member of Semi Alpha Validation Fraternity. Okay? And after graduating from Iowa State in 1950, Fries continued to work in his father's produced business until 1952. His uncle Joe Marr, who worked with Ziv television programs, offered Fries the opportunity to move to California and work for the company. Education. He graduated from Ohio State University, which also received an honorary Doctor's of Fries Arts degree. He became vice president in charge of production for Screen Gems, Columbia Pictures television arm, and Company became vice president of in charge of feature film production administration for the production parent company, where he have worked with the top producers and directors in the industry after serving in various productions and administrative competencies in the entertainment industry. Ziv Television Programs Incorporated. Fries began with work at Ziv Television in 1932 at California Studios, which is now known as Lale Studios in Hollywood, California. During 8 years in Ziv, how you pronounce it, the company produced shows such as Casino Kid, Hallway Patrol, and Sea Hunt. Television was a college entry in 1952 when I came on the scene. The Ziv office staff in Hollywood were very small, probably no more than 15 people. With Fries growing the company's production and studios operations, Ziv became one of the most popular independent television syndication companies, rather than only buying commercial airtime on television. Advertisers during the period were typically by entire programs such as General Electric Fear, hosted by Ronald Reagan, former President of the United States, and Texel Star Fear, hosted by Melvin Burry. Ziv and other syndication companies would fashion a show for an advertiser training main titles and commercials to air in a number of cities that the advertiser will buy. These are typically fashion titles and commercials made it look the advertisers own and produce entire series. The Rise Network Television Administrative Company founder Frederick Ziv to sell the company to United Artists in 1960. Screen Gems. Fries parted ways with Ziv and was appointed with vice president in charge of production with Screen Gems to Columbia Pictures television arm in 1960. He was involved in the production of such series such as Naked City, Well 66, okay? Bewitched, Father Knows Best, and I'm Dreaming the Genie. During which he became long-time friends with the sitcom's lead actress Barbara Eden. Okay. Years later, I'm Dreaming the Genie actor Larry Hagman confirmed to Flies that during production of the series, Hagman, despite that the boss of Columbia and Screen Gems with such fervor that he once hired an airplane to fly one over the studio that he could arraign out the window onto the buildings. While working on Screen Gems, Flies took a meeting at Fame Polo Lounge and the Beverly Hills Hotel with Harold Cullen, a former lawyer at several Hollywood talent agencies, with his current between jobs and looking for the new career as a producer. Flies arrived for an 8 p.m. Breakfast meeting to find that Cohen's tablecloth was already sold. Okay. When Flies asked him what happened, excuse me, I burped it, but anyway. Okay, where was I? Oh yes, Cole's, Cohen, a man that he was already had a meeting with someone at 7:30. I had some coffee with him, and I'm going to have my grapefruit now. Cohen said after the meeting, Flies was giving up to leave with somebody else, and he showed up at Cohen's table for the 8:45 meeting. But the giver meeting between Flies and Cohen would immediately result in Screen Gems placing the variety show, the Johnny Cash Show, on air, and ran for 2 seasons. Okay, that makes sense. Columbia Media. Okay. In 1968, Flies became vice president in charge for feature film production at Columbia Pictures, where he worked on the theatrical films such as Castle Keep with Burt Lancaster, and The Horseman with Jack Palance, 5 Easy Pieces with Jack Nicholson and Karen Black, and Getting Straight with Elliot Gould and Candice Bergen. Okay. After 2 years at Columbia, Flies became executive vice president in charge for production with multimedia, where he produced and serialized 26 movies for television and 13 television series, including The Undersea World, Jack Was, Gaju, okay? Chuck Flies Productions. In 1974, Flies established Chuck Flies Productions, later known as Flies Entertainment, where he produced and/or supervised more than 275 hours of television movies and miniseries. Okay? Makes sense. Awards. Flies was awarded the Star of Hollywood Walk of Fame. Okay? It was not the opposite than Fame Man's Chinese Fear. His films were generated by Emmy, Peabody, Emmys, and Christopher Awards for, among others. For film festivals, it was awarded as special honor by ICANN, the Inquiry for Child Abuse and Neglect. With his wife Eva, we received the honors from PATH, People Assistance for the Homeless, the Maple Center, a Beverly Hills Family Consulting Service, and Center's Semi-Medical Center, among others. The couple raised millions together for various causes in the Los Angeles area with popular evidence of the arts and children. Excuse me. Anyway. Okay, moving on. Next. Where was I? Oh yes, Flies serves on the board of the American Film Institute, and is part of the executive committee for 23 years. Okay, AFI honor him the honorary doctorate in communications arts. Okay, communications arts. Moving on. While there, he was chaired an event known for Producer of the Year Award, offering the award for outstanding producers in the television industry. Including such producers as Edgar Cedric, Dorothea Petrie, and Richard Berg, among others. He was a member of the Cactus for producers, writers, and directors. Okay. Um. Um. Okay, I can't read the rest. But anyway, moving on. From 1974, excuse me, but anyway. And was served 4 terms in TBE organization chair for receiving the most coveted awards. From Iowa State University, he received an honorary degree. Okay, moving on. Doctors of Arts presented president of our university. He also received the Frederick W. Zev Award from the University of Cincinnati of the federal presentation. His books were never he co-authored We'll Never Be Young Again, Remember the Last Day of John F. Kennedy, a book incorporating over 100 letters from President officials relating that impacts John Kennedy's death and had of him. The book was then developed as a stage reading for the Kirk Douglas Theater. Flies wrote the autobiography Jug Flies, Godfather with the television movie, a history of television, or about the early years of television, day-to-day workings of the entertainment business, in which the television movies was taken to get them produced and distributed. Stage plays. His constant plays Cover of Rose, a free-woman show about the life of Rose F. Kennedy, was also presented at the Douglas Theater, opened in Emerson College Theater in Boston, January 2011. Fries also was a member of the Academy of Television Arts and Sciences, where he served at the Board of Governors and the Treasurer of the Secretary of the Foundation. He was also a member of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, where he served in the exclusive branch membership of the company. He was awarded the lifetime membership of the Producers Guild of America. We launched the Guild's Black and Tie Awards in 1998, creating a fragile base in which he was in Germany and mail for good finally to go to strategic plan of visualization. Okay? He was also active in the Secretariat group, The Abomination, Mark Tapper Forum, and Kirk Douglas Peters, where he was served on the boards and executive committee. And as vice president, okay? He was a co-chair with his wife, Eva Urson Fries, of the executive committee of the GCGG, Entertainment Circle, Improvement and Association with the Consonant Group, Sarah Fear Group, affiliates. He co-chaired a number of events. He passed away Earth Day. He was, I'm not sure how many years old was he. But anyway, we're going to do a moment's silence and reflection regarding to Jim Steinman and Charles Fries now. Thank you. Rest in peace, Jim Steinman and Charles Fries. Now, I'm going to finish off this topic here and we'll wrap things up. Earth Day is an annual event on April 22nd to demonstrate support for environmental protection. First held on April 22nd, 1970, it now includes a wide range of events distributed globally by EarthDay.org, formerly Earth Day Network, including 1 billion people in more than 193 countries. In 1969, at UNESCO conference in San Francisco, California, peace activist John McConnell proposed this day to honor the Earth, and the concept of peace. The first would be observed on March 21st, 1970, the first day of spring in the Northern Hemisphere, This day's nature's climate proposal was later signed as a proclamation written by McConnell and signed by Secretary General U. Tat and the UN, also known as the United Nations. A month later, United States Senator Gaylord Nelson proposed the idea of held a nationwide environment teach-in April 22nd, 1970. He hired young activist David Hayes to be a national coordinator. Nelson Hayes renamed the event Earth Day. Okay, Dennis and the staff grew the event beyond the original idea, the teach-in that include the entire United States. More than 20 million people poured out in the streets, and First Earth Day remains the largest single day protesting in human history. Keen on simultaneously, focus partners played major roles under the leadership of labor leader Walter Ruffer. Okay, for example, the United Artists Auto Workers (UAW for short) was the most instrumental outside federal unconventional support for the First Earth Day. According to Hayes, okay, without the UAW, the First Earth Day wasn't likely to be flop. Yeah, I agree. Nelson was later awarded the Presidential Medal Freedom Award in recognition of his work. First Earth Day was focused on the United States. In 1990, Dennis Hayes, the first national coordinator in 1970, took his international organization events in 141 nations. In Earth Day in 2018, the landmark Paris Agreement, 2016, I pronounce it, the landmark Paris Agreement was signed by the United States, United Kingdom, China, and 120 countries. Wow. The signing satisfied key requirement of entry into force by external draft Climate Protection Treaty, adopted by countries of 195 nations, presented at the 2015 United Nations Climate Change Conference in Paris. Numbers of communities engaged in Earth Day week actions. Entire week of activities focusing on environmental issues that would faces. In Earth Day 2020, over 100 million people around the world observed the 50th anniversary of what is being observed to be known as the largest online mass mobilization history. Man, a lot of reading right there. But, yeah. That's all my topics right now, and that wraps up for Crazy Bunch's Web Show, episode number 41. Hope you enjoy it. Stay tuned for the next one, which is going to be episode 42, coming up in 2 weeks. There won't be an episode next week, but it will be coming up next 2 weeks from now. Till next time, so Jarvis, goodbye, peace out, baby. Get more episodes, guys, very soon. Till then, Jefferson out. See ya.